Woo! With all kinds of bells today. Good morning. Please rise with me in body or spirit, and let's sing our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
It's like this. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of thee. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of thee. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Know you.
Go for it. You've broken your vows 1,000 times.
Come, yet again, come. And again.
Good morning. My name is Rachel Walter, and I serve this congregation as the assistant treasurer. I use the pronouns she and her.
And I am Heather Norby, the spiritual life director for this congregation. I use the pronouns she and her. And I present to you our opening words, which were written by the Reverend Monica Jacobson Tennyson, entitled, Who You Are Enriches Us All.
Welcome. What you bring, who you are, enriches us all. We say welcome to your joy, your hope, your pride. We say welcome to your grief, your fear, your anger. And the parts of you that are not yet ready to be seen and heard, welcome to them as well.
For we are people of faith, faith in our expansive welcome, faith in our ability to grow, faith in the precious gift of our truths, faith in the promise of trying, learning, and changing, faith in our capacity to know ourselves and each other ever deeply.
Welcome to you who are gay, straight, bi, pan, lesbian, queer, questioning, unable to be contained in any word.
Welcome to you who are trans, cis, genderqueer, non-binary, intersex, agender, beyond words.
Welcome to you who are human. Welcome to you who love and are loved.
Welcome to you who are blessed, which is all of you.
May this time together be a blessing.
Good morning. I'm Ken Wechter. I serve on our Board of Trustees. For those of you who don't know me, our mission here at UUCL is love plus connection equals transformation. I call on you now into this connection part by lifting up some of the opportunities for being together that will be happening around here real soon. Are you new to Unitarian Universalism? I almost made up a universal unit something. Today, after this worship service, Heather will be available to sit and chat and answer any questions you may have. So let's take advantage of that opportunity. This Wednesday at 6:30, our sanctuary is game night. Come join us for some casual fun. Bring a game and some snacks, and we'll enjoy each other's company. Because Unitarian Universalism is a journey, not a set of beliefs, we have a small group ministry program. Small group is about offering companions and tools for your spiritual journey. Please see me or Heather to sign up. Buildings and Grounds Work Day is this Tuesday, September 19th, 8 a.m. until noon. Please see Dorothy Lemmy to sign up. She's got, where's your guy? She usually holds up her clipboard. See Dorothy to sign up, help us keep our spiritual home beautiful and inviting. Board meetings have been moved to the first Sundays of the month. Therefore, the next meeting is October 1st, 12:30 p.m. here in the sanctuary. If you're interested in the business of the church, you're welcome to come and observe.
Thank you, Ken. As Ken said, our mission statement is love plus connection equals transformation. So this not only helps guide our activities here with one another, but it also guides how we engage with the world outside of our walls. Our social justice program is about connection, making connections with organizations in the community that share our values and seek to bring hope, love, peace, and justice to the community at large. So that being said, here's some ways to connect. This Thursday night, as it is every Thursday night, is Mama and Friends Bingo at Quintessence, which is up on Massachusetts. It's from 8 to 10 p.m. And this week, they are raising money for the Rose Dynasty Foundation. Red Tent, the Red Tent Initiative, which helps victims of domestic abuse, is having a 5K. So if you haven't signed up yet, please do. It's October 7th and it starts at 8 a.m. I believe today's the last day at $35. So if you want to register, register today. Otherwise, I think registration fee goes up to $40 tomorrow. But nonetheless, it all goes to Red Tent Initiative, and they definitely need some funding to help support people who need to get out of some bad situations. And we were asked to bring snacks and drinks to the 5K. So they're looking for oranges, bananas, cereal bars, and water. So if you're able to help me coordinate that, please let me know. All of this and much more is in our e-newsletter that is published every Monday and posted on our hallway bulletin board. Great care is taken each week to provide this to you, so we hope that you read it and find the ways you would like to engage in this community. If you are new, you are welcome to sign up on the sheet in the hallway to get our e-newsletter, or if you're online, put your email in the chat feature to request to receive it, and then you can get connected.
Thank you. Sometimes we have children who choose to stay with their parents during worship, and they are certainly welcome to do so. So if you are easily distracted or have a hard time hearing, please feel free to move closer to the front. We also have headphones available for those who need hearing assistant devices. In addition, our back corner is not just a place for the kids to be and to move around. Anyone of any age is welcome to what we call the Meditative Maker's Corner. If you need to doodle, fidget, or move around, we want everyone to be comfortable. Okay. All right. So let us create this sacred space by lighting our chalice and drawing closer to a welcoming spirit. In Unitarian Universalism, we often say deeds, not creeds. It is the covenants we make that bind us together. Our 8th UU principle states that we covenant to affirm and promote, journeying towards spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressives in ourselves and our institution. Right? As Dakota comes forward to light this chalice, let the flame remind us of the yearning in our own hearts to keep these covenants and to always welcome one another. Let us sing and sign Spirit of Life. Hymn 123.
I now invite the children to come forward for a moment for all ages. All right. Oh, whew, crash landed. Good morning. Oh, how is everyone today? Yeah, you don't know? Tired? Tired. Yeah. Oh, it looks contemplative today. It's good. It's good for Sunday morning. So, have you ever heard of Rosh Hashanah? I knew Presley had. So Rosh Hashanah is a Jewish holiday, and it started at sunset on Friday night. And it starts what they call the High Holy Day, so it's really important in the Jewish religion. And there's a greeting, and I'm going to try to say it right, and then Josh was going to correct me. and you can say it to your Jewish friends and neighbors, and it means, have a happy and sweet New Year. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Say it with me, Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Hey, Joshua, did I say it right?
Oh, that's perfect.
Thank you. So the story that I'm going to tell you today is from the Jewish tradition. It's called A Pillow Full of Feathers. Do you have any feather pillows at home? Yeah. You used to. Do they get messy sometimes? Yeah. Okay. Pillow Full of Feathers, written by Shoshana Ramba. Other than that, he was really a pleasant, good-hearted man. He kind of knew it was wrong, but it was too tempting, and in any case, most of what he told had really happened, didn't it? Many of his stories were just innocent and entertaining, weren't they? Have you ever just really wanted to tell somebody something about somebody else, like you just couldn't wait?
Yeah.
Yeah? No? Maybe? All right. Well, one day this man found out something really weird, but true, about another businessman in town. Of course, he felt compelled to share what he knew with his colleagues, who told it to their friends, who told it to people they knew, who told it to their wives, who spoke with their friends and their neighbors. And so it went around town until the unhappy person that the story was about heard it. And he ran to the rabbi and wailed and complained that he was ruined. Nobody would like to deal with him after they heard that story. His good name and his reputation were gone with the wind. Now this rabbi knew his customers, so to speak, and he decided to summon the man who loved to tell stories. If he was not the one who started it, he might at least know who did. When the nice man with the nasty problem heard from the rabbi how devastated his colleague was, he felt truly sorry. He honestly had not considered it such a big deal to tell this story because it was true. The rabbi could check it out if he wanted. The rabbi sighed. True, not true, that really makes no difference, said the rabbi. You just cannot tell stories about people. This is all lashon hara, slander, gossip, and it's like murder. You kill a person's reputation. He said a lot more, and the man who started the rumor now felt really bad, and very sorry. What can I do to make it undone, he sobbed. I will do anything you say. The rabbi looked at him. Do you have any feather pillows in your house? Oh, Rabbi, I am not poor. I have a whole bunch of them. But what do you want me to do, sell them? No, just bring me one. The man was mystified, but he returned a bit later to the rabbi's study with a nice, fluffy pillow under his arm. The rabbi opened the window and handed him a knife. Cut it open. But Rabbi, here in your study, it will make a mess. Do as I say. And the man cut the pillow. A cloud of feathers came out. They landed on the chairs and on the bookcase, on the clock, on the cat, which jumped after them. They floated over the table and into the teacups, on the rabbi and on the man with the knife, and a lot of them flew out the window in a big swirling, whirling trail. The rabbi waited 10 minutes. Then he ordered the man, now bring me back all the feathers and stuff them back into your pillow. All of them, mind you, not one may be missing. The man stared at the rabbi in disbelief. That is impossible, Rabbi. The ones here in the room, I might get most of them, but the ones that flew out of the window are gone. Rabbi, I can't do that, and you know it. Yes, said the rabbi, and nodded gravely. That is how it is. Once a rumor, a gossipy story, a secret leaves your mouth, you do not know where it ends up. It flies on the wings of the wind, and you can never get it back. He ordered the man to deeply apologize to the person about whom he had spread the rumor. That is difficult. It's hard to apologize, isn't it? But it was the least he could do. He ordered him to apologize to the people to whom he had told the story, making them accomplices in the nasty lashon hara game. And he ordered them to diligently study the laws concerning lashon hara every day for a year, and then come back to him. So that is what the man did. And not only did he study about lashon hara, he talked about the importance of guarding your tongue to all his friends and colleagues. And in the end, he became a nice man who overcame a nasty problem.
That is an excellent story, Sister Heather.
You know? What do y'all think of that story?
Good.
Good? Jerry, Miss Melissa? All right, it was great seeing you all this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day.
We are the keepers of a dream to build and grow a Unitarian Universalist congregation here in Lakeland, tucked back in this friendly neighborhood next to the tall pines. We are those that were dreamt of, and we are the dreamers. We keep this vision alive by contributing our time, talent, and treasure. So in this moment, we will take up an offering that will sustain and strengthen this life-giving community. The ushers will pass the plates. A Prayer Against Circles by Reverend Scott Taylor. Is it possible that being on the inside of the circle leaves us out of the loop? What if the margins aren't narrow? What if that space of exclusion is also a position of prized perspective? What if being shut out allows us to understand the insiders better than they understand themselves? Why do so many seek the safety of that inner circle anyway? Don't we know that the circles not only keep others out, but also the air? That none of us can get there alone? Haven't we learned that it's on the edge of circles that hate makes its home? So even if we weren't among the ones who put the circle in place, by allowing it to linger, don't we carry the burden of responsibility as well? What if who we are doesn't end at the barriers of our own skin? What if sin is believing that you could put the puzzle together with only the pieces that belong to you? What if heaven is the moment you realize that none of us can get there alone? And what if these all questions are a matter of life and death? After all, didn't the Nazarenes say we must lose our life in order to find it? Haven't all the sages said the solidarity self must perish for the longer we to live, for the larger we to live? If that is true, then let us widen the circle until it breaks. For as long as the circle exists, pieces and parts of ourselves will always lie on the other side of the line. The circle will never allow the welcome we wish for. So let us push, pull, twist, and tear, dig underneath and climb over the top. Do whatever it takes to meet each other face to face. And having found each other, let us stare and struggle, fight and forgive, call in and call out until me and you dissolves into us. So be it. Amen.
Thank you, Rachel. We came into the sanctuary our spiritual home, with many threads of joys and sorrows from our varied lives. Sometimes our sorrows come from disconnect and loneliness, and sometimes our joys come from that feeling of connection we make because we broke the circle and let others in. Today is about welcoming. While we sit and sing and listen to the morning's message together, our threads of joys and sorrows, connection and disconnection, are woven deeper into the fabric of our lives, creating truth and meaning and transforming us towards our more loving and compassionate selves. It has been requested that we bring back a Joys and Sorrows book so that you may write in it a significant joy and sorrow occurring in your life that you would like for the congregation to know.
Hallelujah.
It will sit on the table at the entrance of the sanctuary before the service, which is when you will write in it, and then Petra will bring it to me, and I will read from it before we take the time to participate in our weekly ritual of placing pebbles in the bowl. Do we have any joys and sorrows? We don't have any. Well, I know we just introduced it, and we did try to round some folks up this morning to write in it, but nobody wanted to be the first. So that you know it's there, and you can write in it next week. And we'll get a routine down, and so when you come in next week, write in it, and then I will read it before we do our pebbles in the bowl. So I will invite you now to come forward and place a stone representing your joy, concern, or sorrow into the sand that represents the infinite universe.
We have Daniel Wagner and Judy Pell.
Morning, Daniel and Judy. After today's story, I'm wondering, how often do you gossip? Actually, what I really want to know is, how does gossiping make you feel? I don't mean gossip about you. I mean the feeling that you get when you are talking about other people. I suppose it might matter exactly what it is you are saying. Gossip, as a broad category, can simply mean just talking about other people and events. But has participating in gossip ever generated negative feelings about others, made you feel bad about yourself, and affected the way in which you are welcoming to others? Jewish law considers the broad category of Lashon Hara to be a significant sin, as it harms social cohesion and is difficult to atone for. Once such speech has been let loose in the world, it is virtually impossible to undo its damage, as was illustrated in the story with the feather pillow. Buddhism also guides us to mind our speech. In Buddhism, right speech, or samavaka, is taught as an interconnected part of the Eightfold Path. As recorded in the Pali Canon, the historical Buddha taught that right speech had 4 parts. 1, abstain from false speech. Do not tell lies or deceive. 2, do not slander others or speak in a way that causes disharmony. 3, abstain from rude, impolite, or abusive language. And the 4th part, that is most akin to Lashon Hara, do not indulge in idle talk or gossip. In other words, ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If your speech is not useful and beneficial, Buddhist teachers say it is better to keep silent. Both the Jewish law of Lashon Hara and the Buddhist teachings of right speech have one goal in mind: to promote social harmony. Indeed, as Unitarian Universalists, we also believe in following ways that promote social harmony. In our own congregational covenant, which is on the back of the order of service you might have received today, lies the promise to promote a harmonious spirit and a truly welcoming congregation by our personal, caring, and positive attitude. But alas, we are human. Gossiping seems almost a part of our nature, and so we have probably broken our vows 1,000 times. So as UUs, we do the hard work of calling ourselves back into covenant, arriving once more to be welcomed back in. We are human. We are always arriving, as Indigenous author Caitlin Curtis reminds us. Here's an interesting hypothesis about humans and how we came to be who we are from an evolutionary psychologist's perspective. This is by Robin Dunbar and David Ludin. They say, instead of picking fleas and dirt off one another to bond, we talk, which is where gossip comes in, because chit-chat is mostly talking about other people and conveying social information. Gossiping gives humans the ability to spread valuable information to very large social networks. Were we not able to engage in discussions of these social and personal issues, we would not be able to sustain the kinds of societies that we do. Gossip, in this broad sense, plays a number of different roles in the maintenance of socially functional groups through time. Some scholars view gossip as evidence of cultural learning, offering teachable moments and providing people examples of what's socially acceptable and what's not. For example, if there's someone who cheats a lot in a community or social circle and people start to talk about that person in a negative way, says Robbins, the collective criticism should warn others of the consequences of cheating. And as word near inevitably trickles back to the source of said gossip, it can serve to keep people in check, morally speaking. Well, what a blessing it is to be a Unitarian Universalist. Because Unitarian Universalism draws from many sources of wisdom, Judaism, Buddhism, and science, none of which we have to accept as doctrine, creed, or law, and all of which we can learn from, despite seeming contradictions, and weaving them together with both ands, honoring the tensions, in order to discern a more nuanced truth and a deeper meaning for our lives. Sometimes I wonder if perhaps divinity is found in the quality of our relational energy, calling God in as an adjective and naming it as harmony or perhaps beauty. So I might consider the wisdom from Judaism, Buddhism, and scientific research and ask myself if my speech is contributing to a relational energy that is uplifting, makes me feel hopeful, and leads us all towards beauty. This is not always an easy thing, but to be authentic means to align our professed values with our behaviors and our speech. And the wide variety of our wisdom sources teach us how to do that. So now let's consider that ever-contradicting entity we call social media. At once an amazing tool that connects us and puts valuable information and cultural learning at our fingertips, and is also a vehicle for the spreading of misinformation and harmful gossip, providing easy access for engagement in Lashon Hara, and acting as the knife that cuts the feather pillow and scatters the feathers, making the task of gathering them back together again impossible. But let us not let impossible get in our way and render us hopeless. Let us engage in an active hope and build community by connecting with one another. That is what we're going to do today. You see, I've noticed a great tension, stoked by social media and the news, between the generations. The divisions are often depicted on social media in such memes as these. There's more, but the computer could be stuck. I see Jason struggling with it. They're not very nice, are they? The rhetoric that shows up on social media and in the news seeks to stereotype and divide us. And echoes of it show up in how we show up here with one another. Perhaps it is my generational status as Gen X that puts me in the middle of it, or more likely, it is my position as your lay minister that allows for me to have a balcony view of your different perspectives. But I have observed that there are general conclusions that can be made about how each generation thinks we should do church, and how that is layered with this divisive rhetoric about the other generations, which in turn influences our trust in one another and the quality of our relationships. It's a complex phenomenon, to be sure, but turning our attention and our awareness to it will ensure that we nurture our relationships appropriately. For that is our covenant to one another. We have differences, but they need not divide us. Instead, we can learn from each other. We should appreciate one another, for we all bring insight and wisdom to this community. We can arrive as spiritually mature individuals that put the mission and vision of our faith first before the stereotypes that divide us. Disclaimer, none of this means that we tolerate ideas and opinions that are harmful. Our speech and our behavior matters. That's what makes us Unitarian Universalists. So now we have arrived at the moment when we will soon do the actual community building with something called pop-up small groups, and guess what? I didn't come up with this. So, I was just happy to see somebody else do unique and interesting things in worship. I was like, yeah, right on. We will take a few moments first to ponder some questions and to listen to that still small voice within ourselves that guides us in the right direction, towards beauty, towards the divine. And then we're going to get into groups, and you will share and or small groups, pop-up small groups. And you, it might be awkward. Listen, awkward is good. Awkward means you're working. And I just want to say, if you're new, don't feel like pressured into talking. Nobody needs to feel pressured into talking. Listening is also a fantastic skill to have, but we do appreciate everyone's input. So I'm going to put up some questions, and then I'm going to have you meditate on these questions for a few minutes while we are presented with a beautiful song. And then we will get into our groups. So I really would like us to think about bridging the divide, more particularly the divide that sometimes happens between generations and between what we want church to be like. And I want you to think about what do you really need from either the older generation or the younger generations. What do you need? Can you? It's hard to state, but think of it. Maybe you need more care if you're aging. Maybe if you're young and you have a lot of great ideas, you want people to listen to you and not just, poo-poo you off. And then also, what can you give? Can you give gratitude for the contributions of other generations? Can you be more open and curious and ask questions and figure out what it is they want from this church, from this community? What do you want to learn? So those are the questions that I'm going to have you talking about, and they're, kind of loose. I'm sort of letting you talk as you feel like you need to talk to people. We'll keep that up for when we get in the small groups, but I just want you to take a minute to think, to listen to the music that Adam and Tim are going to present to us now. Yes? Yes. And also, our covenant is on the back of that paper again, and so you're also welcome to read that during this meditative moment. Thank you. It was beautiful, wasn't it? All right, pop-up groups. The first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to, I'm going to get you by generations, the generation that you identify with. And then I'm going to have you count maybe up to 5 and then put you in cross-generational groups. Does that make sense? Yep. All right. Let's start, let's see. I don't know, do we have any Gen Zs in here? Gen Z is, you were born between 1996 and 2012. Okay. Hamden. Okay.
Maybe you should just go with the time frame, the years.
Sure. Millennials were born between 1981 and 1996. So if you identify as a millennial, see, Adam's laughing at me because when I said I was going to do this, he's like, no, it's not going to work. Millennials, right here with Rachel. If you identify as one, you know, we're not real sticklers. I'm not going to be like checking your IDs, okay? All right, Gen X, born between 1965 and 1980. Go by Francesca. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1. Okay. Oh, wow, we got lots of Gen X. Okay. Baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964. Go over to Joshua.
You're probably wondering why I'm here.
And the silent generation born between 1928 and 1945. That's Bobby. That's Bobby. Oh, Bobby, you can stay there. I'm not going to make you move. And Jack. Well, Bobby and Jack, right? Okay. Floyd? Are you a boomer?
You haven't gotten my
Floyd's in his own group.
1900.
Yeah, right?
Oh, actually, 1901.
Okay, you go wherever you identify.
38.
Okay. All right. We're going to join you. There we go. Oh, this is beautiful. All right, now I'm going to split you up though. So we're going to count by, let's do fives. We'll do 5 groups. So 1, Rachel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Yeah. You count yourselves off.
This is 5 groups. You count again? 5 groups. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I'm a 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And 1, 2, 3.
All right.
All right.
The 3's over here. 5's.
One's up here. 3's over there.
If you're a 5, you're over here.
I love it that you can self-organize. Right there.
5's here.
So you may get chairs and sit in a circle if you would like to. I would recommend that you give each person a minute or 2 to speak, and you just take turns speaking. It's not necessarily a conversation as much as it is speaking and listening. Okay? And those questions remember, the goal is to deepen your relationship.
And not be ostracized. So Taoism is something. And in Taoism, it believes instead of, Steve, isn't it ironic that I got in group number 1, and I think thinking that somebody is number 1 is a terrible thing that people have to get plastic surgery. There's no right, correct way. So there are
What I would like to ask is, facing a situation, right? What if one of these others, I've heard it so many letters, coming really close to the end, the planet, our next generation of people. And how do they determine? Yes. There's got to be a sharing.
exactly. Our good spiritual leaders take us down. That's what we need from each other.
Very, I once attended a seminar in my father's church, the weekend seminar in New York City. They had a professor offer their name, and he had no idea the art of this. But he said the stuff that we did, the art of love in action. And that's what, and that's not mine.
But Dallas Buck said there's action and inaction.
Well, the fact that we can listen to someone. What he
I said something, right? Did something like you must.
Let me assure you.
I have a physical challenge.
Engage in your conversation.
But you never call me that again. I will turn it over my knee and spank him. And his kids, I said, that's just like all of you too. There's still not using I can learn a lot from you too. The thing that I've been trying to instill in our kids is learning is great.
Laser, but I was, he did very little talking. Very hard.
They use all of
It really is a beautiful thing. Like this is beautiful, and I hate to like stop it and break it up. So I guess I'd say I would encourage you to continue in the social hall. We're gonna sing though. We're not gonna leave until we're done singing. But this has been absolutely beautiful to witness. And I really appreciate all of the really deep, rich conversations that I heard as I was walking around the room. So I will have Rachel come read our closing words, and then we'll extinguish the chalice and sing ourselves into a new world. Because I know that speaking and listening to one another helps us arrive at something anew.
A First Step Faith by Reverend Scott Taylor. Go with faith, not the kind that is called to move mountains, but the quieter sort that calls us to take the first step, even when the whole staircase sits beyond our view. And as we move toward the unseen, may we notice that the way unfolds, only as we risk traveling it. And may we remember and trust that on this journey, we are never alone. Amen. So please rise in body or spirit now and join us in singing hymn 1017, We Are Building a New Way.
We
We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.